What's up? This is Brandon Donahue, and you're listening to the All Bass No Trouble podcast, where we talk all things hip-hop, culture, music, lifestyle, and more. So kick back and join myself and my co-host as we feature our next special guest this week. What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of All Bass No Trouble. As always, I'm your host, Brandon Donahue. We got Jordan tuning in from way out in Woodland Hills.
Live from the house.
You know what I mean? We make it happen here. Way out there in Woodland Hills, and our special guest this week, my boy, Connor Del Rio. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you for coming on.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Our first actor, so I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
Get the acting side of the world.
Yeah, you got it, man. You're in the arts, you know?
So,
it's the arts. Yeah, of course.
Hey, eat no Lunchables when we on, though, right? Because I didn't get to eat, so you at the home, you cozy, you comfy. I don't want to see no... Oh.
Bacon?
Is that turkey bacon?
You already know.
I'm not hungry now. All right, we're good.
Trying to be healthy. Woodland Hills, bro. It's nice out here. Nice suburban living.
Oh, God. All right, well, you missed it. So right before we were talking about, I was telling Connor, I said it's the Bulls didn't make a move at the trade deadline, bro. You're a Chicago native. How do you feel?
Diehard Chicago. From the city, not the suburbs. It's really important. Certain viewers will know. It's very important distinction. From the city of Chicago, I feel very underwhelmed by my Chicago Bulls. But listen, it starts with ownership, right?
Yeah.
Reinsdorf has got to go. If your owner wants to win, you'll win.
Yeah.
If your owner's cheap, we haven't gone in the luxury tax for like 15 years.
Yeah, so he's just, he's not trying to
make
build.
trades. We're not going to do anything.
But you paid Levine, so why?
You gotta. Nothing else on the market. Who else are we going to pay?
I just feel...
Kobe White?
Yeah, right?
No offense, Kobe.
I do see... I thought they'd make a move, but also I'm like, who would they went and got? You know? So I don't really know.
There was nothing.
But I feel like if you went and got like... Almost like, essentially, if you tried to see if Nets wanted to buy out like Dinwiddie and Finney Smith and those guys, I feel like bringing in a bunch of role players and getting rid of Levine would fit so much better with DeRozan.
Man,
and Vucevic.
There's so much luck involved. Like the Bulls, we did the tank for 3 years in a row, and we got the 7th pick 3 years in a row. We missed Zion, Luka, Trey, Ja, Tatum.
Yeah.
We missed everybody. We missed all the generational talent for the next 10 years. We missed
This was a lottery pick, yeah, huh?
lottery, 7th pick 3 years in a row.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
We were right there from getting one of these guys.
Yeah.
And we didn't. So it's luck, man. What, Tatum was the 2nd pick, right?
Tatum was third, I believe. I think so.
Oh, okay.
I think he was 2nd or 3rd.
Yeah.
Was Lonzo first? Because then Lonzo would have been first. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
For
think
the Lakers?
I think Tatum was 3rd. I forget who the first pick was.
No. It wasn't Philly. The guy who forgot how to shoot.
Markelle Fultz.
Fultz was the first pick.
What a fuck up that
Fultz
is.
was the first pick.
Markelle Fultz, Lonzo Ball, and then Tatum, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's a lot of luck, man. Also,
Yeah.
we had Jordan, so I feel like it's a Jordan curse. Like that's it.
So many
We got
years,
Jordan,
it's
now
like,
you're just
that was
screwed.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
No, I feel like
I mean, the Derrick
Bulls.
Rose years were awesome.
Yeah, I
Those
mean
were
that
awesome.
was the year too. You guys
I
would have
watched him
got
play
one.
my high school when he was at Simeon.
When he was D Rose.
Destroyed us.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And he's a Chicago kid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the story, and then he got hurt, and it was like, fuck.
Brutal. And everybody loved him, too. It
Yeah,
wasn't
he's
just
like,
Bulls
dude,
fans.
like, bro, I
Everybody
was a
loved
Celtics
the
fan. He'd kill us, and I wanted a Derrick Rose jersey, like that one black fucking
Pinstripes?
Bulls, the pinstripe one,
Yeah,
bro. That shit was
yeah.
so sexy.
Yeah, it's
Man.
rough being a Chicago sports fan in general right now. All
Yeah.
of our teams are
It's
dog
all
shit.
good. It goes through it, bro. Especially a
Oh,
city
you're from
like
Boston.
Chicago.
You can't, what are you, oh, you know, we all go through it.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
all go through it, you know.
50 Super Bowl wins, even hockey. Even your hockey team wins, and nobody cares about hockey.
Bro, they're the best in the league right now, like by a long shot. The Bruins are historically good right now. It's crazy.
Unreal, dude. Boston wins everything.
I was dying last night at Tom Brady tweeted out a little GIF, and it was like, I don't know what to do with my hands, because he was watching the Super Bowl, retired. I was like, oh, that's good, man.
Yeah, he's
good for
finally
Tom
done.
Brady.
Ugh.
How do you? So we were talking about it a little bit, Jordan. I don't know if you probably watched the game, but how do you guys feel about the Super Bowl last night?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great game, ruined by that last flag.
Jordan, you want to tune in?
I think it was a great game too. Yeah, the last flag was kind of woozy, you know, but hey, everybody thought they had the script.
I mean, bro, the script wasn't too far off. The Chiefs won in that point the point differential was the same, and it was off by like a point.
1 point.
So 1 point. It was a little weird. I don't think the NFL scripted though. I just think that's like some foo-foo shit. But I just think the caliber of that game, how it was unfolding, how it was going to make that call, and that ref pretty much decided the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for the most part.
It just wasn't like, bro, you felt the wind get sucked out of the game when that happened. Everyone was like, are you kidding me? This was about to be so good. Like,
that was terrible.
They're going to kick the field goal, give Philly the 1 minute and 20 seconds to see if maybe he turns it over and the Chiefs still win, but like make it a game.
OT
that
wasn't,
it wasn't a hold enough. Even if the dude came out and said, yeah, I held him, he's just being a good sportsmanship. You know what I mean? It wasn't enough. It didn't affect the route. It was an uncatchable ball. So for me, and then also very similar to what happened to the Bengals, right?
Ooh.
They gave the Chiefs like 3
And
third
like
downs.
2 should have been holding calls.
It was crazy. I'm like,
rough.
it's a little chicey to me. Congrats to the Chiefs, but I don't know why he ever thought like, oh yeah, let's decide the game. Like, cause bro, it's like when it happened, it was like, the game was so good.
But you know what happens, right? With ratings for all the major sports organizations, if you have the big dog who's winning every year, it's the someone was talking about this the other day, David Goliath. People want to watch that, right? Like the Warriors and Cleveland finals, numbers in the NBA were insane for those finals.
Yeah,
and
true.
they've gone so far down since because there's not that David and Goliath kind of thing.
Yeah.
So as much as everybody hates super teams, we kind of love them.
Yeah.
And so Kansas City winning, now they need to be dethroned. So whoever's going up next year. I mean, NFL never really has to worry about ratings, but they should go up even more. So
I
they
get what
want
you're
this.
saying.
They
Yeah.
like it. I like Mahomes. I don't know why
It was
he gets all
definitely
the
more
hate, but-
marketable than the Bengals in Philly, for sure.
Oh, I wanted Bengals though.
But I wanted Bengals, and it should have been Bengals. I love Joe Burrow, bro. That
me
boy's
too.
cold.
He's so cool. He's so cool. He's younger than me. He's
Joey
so
cool,
man.
dude. I
wanna be
wanted
like him.
that. But it was a good game regardless,
Yeah,
you know.
it
It
was
was
awesome.
it was an entertaining Super Bowl.
Yeah.
High scoring, you only had that one turnover, the one fumble. I guess I'm salty
like
because I
NASCAR,
lost
close
some
game.
bees bets, but
Yeah, I guess.
it was a good game. It was a good Super Bowl. I liked it. But let's get into your story, bro. I think it's pretty wild. So.
Yeah, it's an interesting one for
So,
sure. Man.
I mean, I'll start with, you're an actor.
Yeah.
And so when was it you pretty much knew? Like, was it a kid watching TV shows? You're like, Mom, that's what I want to do? Or did it kind of...
No, nothing like that, man.
Okay.
I never once thought I wanted to be an actor.
Really?
Never thought about it, ever.
Okay.
Ever. When I was like, probably 4th grade, I want to say, you're in kindergarten, everybody's kind of like, one kid has a little more energy than the other, but in terms of like distinct personalities and stuff, I think we're all kind of growing into whatever that is.
Yeah.
And it was maybe by 4th grade, which would be 7, 8, I think we're like 9 years old in 4th grade or something, 10.
Mm-hmm.
I started being a class ass. Like I distinctly remember I started making jokes. I started being kind of funny kid in class.
Like loud.
And even then I wasn't thinking about acting or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then probably when I was 13, 14, I would be at kind of random friends' Christmas parties and stuff. And these adults, I'd be acting myself and people would be like, "Oh, are you an actor?" I'm like, "No." And they're like, "You should do it. You should do it. You should go into it. You should
Really?
try it. You should try
Okay.
it. I think you'd be good at it." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, Gene."
Yeah.
Like whoever the hell this guy is. I would like go, "All right, Gene."
Whatever, Mr. fucking Thomas.
I don't know. It's fucking Christmas, dude. Get away from me. And then that kept happening. It started recurring so often. I remember I had this. I was at my friend, one of my closest friends, Billy Rogers. Shout out, love the Rogers family. I was at his Christmas party, and one more person had done it, and then it was the end of the night, and I was sitting with his mom. Billy's mom, Patty Rogers. Woo! She's got some big feet. I was sitting with his mom. It was late, like close to midnight, and I was just like, "Damn, Patty, do you think should I try acting? Like people keep telling this to me."
And this is, how old are you?
I was 14.
14 in Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You're
I'm
having
like,
this
should I
convo
try
with
this?
Patty.
Yeah, just Christmas. It was Christmas night.
Yeah.
I would always go there on Christmas
Okay.
Day. She's like, "Yeah, Connor, I think you should try it. Why not?" And so I talked to my mentor back in Chicago, who's kind of a father figure, and I was like, "Where should I go?" And he's like, "Second City." And I'm like,
Okay.
"What the hell is Second City?" He's like, "How do you not know what Second City is? This is where Steve Carell and Tina Fey and Mike Myers and Chris Farley and
Wow.
all the great Stephen Colbert, like it goes on and on and
Wow.
on." great comedians
Yeah.
all came from here. It's the
Okay.
improv capital of the world. And so I went to Second City, signed up for a boot camp, just a summer thing that you pay for. You write your own sketch shows and then perform them. But I'm telling you, first 15 seconds, we did just this stupid zip, zap, zop freestyle game that you just do to warm up.
Yeah.
And everybody's just acting like an ass, and I'm acting like an ass, but people are celebrating it, you know?
Okay.
Like they're celebrating my goofiness and my personality, which was something that at school was, while the kids might have liked it, it was kind of looked down on, like, hey, shut up, pay attention, do this.
Yeah.
And here I'm celebrating and being applauded for it. And I was like,
That's when it kind of clicked.
it was instant. I was so
Wow.
grateful for that moment of knowing, like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm so glad these people, these strangers, like Gene, pointed me in the right direction.
Fucking Gene, yeah, hell yeah.
Of doing it, because that was it. And it was instantaneous. And they would just send auditions out, and I'd say, yeah, you just got to say yes to everything, you know?
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it all started. And then it was just a lot of random luck. I went to an open call audition, and she was like, you're funny. Do you have an agent? I'm like, no. She's like, I'm going to make calls. And it all just stems from persistence and saying yes, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of luck
Into it, right?
in every industry,
Yeah.
in music, in acting.
There's no written agenda or a way to do it. It's kind of giving yourself the opportunity and the chances, like you said, by saying yes. And instead of being like, you know, who knows what acting class you go to and who's there and who sees you or whatever. You know what I mean?
Dude, I was in an acting class, and my teacher was friends with Alfred Molina, and he came in and taught our class for 4 hours. He ripped me in half. I was doing Shakespeare. He was like, you have to know every word. And I'm just looking at him like, dude, you're Doc Ock in Spider-Man. I can't take you seriously. But he destroyed me, man. But
That's crazy.
It was good. It was important to hear that from him, you know? But there's so much luck. But if you have preparation and persistence, things will pan out, because that luck will come your way eventually.
Yeah.
But you just got to keep going at it.
in anything you do, right?
Yeah, of course. But that's kind of how it all started. And then it just
Okay. And then you got success relatively quick, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy. It was
So,
like,
so lie into that a little bit.
yeah, I went to community college for like 4 weeks. I'm like, what am I doing, man? Like,
Yeah,
I know
why
what
am
I
I
want to
here?
do. This is a waste of time. And I told my family I'm leaving. I'm not doing
Good for you.
school. And they were they're all Northwestern grads.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
know,
like,
yeah.
oh shit, Connor. Well, we're an educated family here. You know, they're not like that. But and I went to work at Jimmy John's. It was my first job. I'm like,
Shout out Jimmy.
Shout out Jimmy John's. 5 months into, although he's a trophy hunter.
Yeah. We don't fuck with him, but shout out to shout out to the
Subway,
the place, not the guy.
Yeah, the place. And working at Jimmy John's for like 4 months, and then I auditioned for this Cartoon Network show, because they're like, oh, we're gonna do a Real People show. And
There was their first Real People show,
First
right?
Real People show, yeah.
Which is crazy.
Level up, yeah.
Level up.
And they're like, oh, we like your tape. We're sending it to the team. They like your tape. We're sending it to the director. He likes your tape. We're sending it to network. They want to fly you over. You're going to test for everybody, which is like, a network test is the final round of an audition where you go in front of, let's say it's Cartoon Network, so it's the executives of Cartoon Network. Just like if you HBO, in front of the executives of HBO.
Wow.
I was nervous as hell, and went in there and did my thing, and I was the only one there. And then they were like, all right, leave the room for 5 minutes. There's like 20 people gathered around this giant table, all focused on you. It's a lot of pressure.
Fuck, dude,
And then I come back in, the director's like, Connor, we have 2 problems. You're hired. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, it was amazing.
How old were you?
Too. Oh, I was 20, dude, with braces and everything. They're like, don't take off your braces and don't cut your hair. I was like, all right, that's cool.
Wow.
So yeah, did Cartoon Network's live action for like 3 years, and
20 on a show.
20
years old.
20 series regular.
Like, I think I'm gonna do this, and then you know,
boom.
5, 6 years later,
man.
you're a major role
But
on
then
Cartoon Network.
I mean, this is the crazy thing about the industry, right? I did that for almost 3 years, working in Canada. We filmed in Canada for 6 months, Vancouver.
Okay.
Did 35 episodes. Making, I have a point by saying this, but making 6 figures as a 20-year-old, like making ridiculous money, having a great time. And then I meet you 6 years later. What? I'm bussing tables at Boa Steakhouse.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what I mean? It's a fucking roller coaster of an industry, man.
So you got 3 seasons. So when it got cut, was it kind of abrupt? Were you like, wait, what? Or did you kind of feel it coming?
You kind of know when it's coming. The show did well, but people were really adamant that Cartoon Network should not be showing live action shows.
Yeah,
There was
okay,
a big populace.
It was a
of
big kind of
35-year-old men
that are super into
cookies and pasta and saying,
in their dungeon
no,
somewhere.
I'm kidding. You guys are great, but I got what they were saying. I understand that.
Yeah.
Man. Like I love Cartoon Network too, growing up, and but they had their cartoon shows were just more successful, and it made sense. I still believe to this day we were the best kid show on TV at the time. We were smart. We didn't dumb it down like a lot of those kid shows. You know, those live action ones. They really dumb it down. I'm like,
so
kids
just
are
like
kids are there, man. They're not that far off. And so it was a great learning experience. I was working every day. And there's so many, forget about the acting part. The acting part's easy, man.
Yeah.
It's hitting the million different marks on the ground that you can't look down at. It's having the light hit your eye at the perfect angle. It's making sure you don't tap your shirt because the mic is here. It's picking up an item and making sure it's right in the camera frame, but not too high or too low, while maintaining eye contact and keeping the whole emotions of the scene. And you learn all of that, all those technical things, by working every day and being on the show.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's what helps you.
It was like
there.
boot camp for me. I got to learn it. And it was kind of like college. I went away.
Yeah. And you're getting paid instead of owing money.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I could, as a 20-year-old, I couldn't see myself being responsible with a 6-figure salary.
No. No, I was getting like limos in Vancouver, dude. I was like, come on, guys, we're getting in the limo. We're like,
you was living.
Like,
we're going to the movies.
Yeah, like, oh, come on, get in.
You was living.
Yeah, I didn't have, when I think back on it, I wish, my upbringing, I didn't have parental guidance in that way. Like, especially
no one was telling you to like put this money here. It's, this is gonna end.
I wish I did.
Yeah,
but I also can very confidently say I had a blast, man.
Yeah,
like I had a blast.
You like lived the first life essentially. You know what I mean?
It was fun,
like
man.
Different.
Like, and save. My buddy Galen, who was on the show, he was the complete opposite. Super smart with his money, and now he's
chilling.
He's doing great things.
Nice.
But that's okay. This is what I signed up for. It's a roller coaster, man. Yeah, it really is.
So after the show, I mean, what happened there and the in between? Because I feel like acting is such a tough industry where it's like, boom, success, and then it's like, you said I meet you 5-6 years later from the show, and we're both doing the same job essentially.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're doing like what, commercial work or little kind of pop-ups.
You're doing what? I mean, it's weird, man. Like, there's so much you can get right there for things that can change your life. But if you don't,
I remember you telling me a few roles like that where you were like, it was up to you and a guy.
Oh man, I mean, I met the Coen brothers. I was in the room with the Coen brothers in the final round for Buster Scruggs, man. It's like, and that's, you get these reminders when you start to have doubts. You're like, no. Like these guys who have Oscars all over their house thought I was good enough.
Yeah.
People think you're good enough. You're in the right spot. Like stick around, keep doing it. But, last year I filmed 2 pilots and they didn't get picked up. So the first episode doesn't go to series. So like things happen, man. You just kind of, it's like I've said though, you stay persistent. I haven't had to work at, and not that it's, it's a great job working. I've never understood like the down talking of working any job. But,
anything in between is a good job.
Yeah, I've been able to make my living off acting now again for the past however many years it's been. But that comes from working hard, not being egotistical. Staying humble, staying persistent, because that's 100%. The thing, man. Your ego can ruin everything.
Yeah, get in your way of like, whoa, why am I doing this when I just landed this role type shit? It's like, no, just do it.
Your ego's vital. Yeah, it's very vital.
Yeah,
but you got to use it in the right way.
Yeah, even with Ro, dude, he was working at T-Mobile selling phones, and what he would do is when he would sell a phone, he would ask the customers if he could put his music on their phone. Brilliant. That's brilliant. And that's how he gained a lot of his first success, because then people would actually listen, find out he's actually good. Yep. And then it got to the point where I remember the day he quit T-Mobile. It's like a big celebration, now to this day he lives off of music. But it's just like he could have gotten his head and been like, you know what I mean? So it's no matter what you do, and that's even tough with acting. I know plenty of actors out here. It's kind of a land where it's like everyone's doing it. You know what I mean? So it's hard.
Everybody's doing it.
So it's hard to differentiate or, land the roles and not get in your head and think of like, am I wasting my time? It's like, if it's something you love, right? Like you said, like consistency and persistence and just staying at it, you just have to do it. Otherwise it's going to eat you.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for anything, man. Like, I always look at certain actors. Look at John Hamm, right?
Yep.
That guy's amazing. Amazing. Didn't make it until Mad Men, 40.
Right.
Like, who was where were people looking? Like,
Yeah.
what did they not see? Bryan Cranston, he was always getting his work and everything, but Malcolm in the Middle, 40s. Breaking Bad, dude.
Crazy.
Like the guy, it's one of the greatest performances of all time. So
Yeah.
there's never any rhyme or reason for anything.
Yeah.
But if you love it, like I can't not act.
Yeah.
I don't care if I have to work in a restaurant for a couple years or work this job or whatever I got to do to make
Whatever in
ends
between.
meet.
Yeah.
Like
Which
acting,
is like whatever. you
no,
know?
it's whatever. It doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
acting saves me. Like just from a personal standpoint. Like it's my
You love it. It's like
yeah,
you
it's
can't
my
imagine
therapy.
not
It's
doing
everything.
it. Yeah.
It's what feeds my soul. I think I don't know. Everybody here's got something that feeds their soul.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
man, and like that's what you need in this life. And I also I believe that like you're an artist and you came here to be an artist and work with other artists. And to me, I think all of us being able to just even be in Los Angeles and do this, it's a privilege to even go after a dream.
100%.
Let alone like grab it. It's a privilege
to even do that.
to be
is
able
something.
to just come here
Yeah.
to be like, Mom, Dad, I have a dream and I'm
Yeah.
gonna go. I'm like, wow, you must be pretty privileged to be able to do that. So like, it's totally okay to bitch and moan sometimes and
Yeah.
grieve losses and all that.
Yeah.
It's also I think important to remember like,
Take your winnings too.
yeah, and it's
small winnings, whatever winnings.
man. So yeah.
It's crazy you say what you said earlier too, because when I was 22 moving out here, you know, I was a server and a lot of people would be like, oh, you're moving to LA. Are you going to be an actor? You'd be a really good actor. Remember, I think we talked about this at Boa and I was like, yo, Connor, do you think I'd be
And I was like,
a
go for
decent
it,
actor?
right?
You're like, dude, I think you should go for it. And to this day, I'm always like, man, I wonder if I
Never
should have
too
just
late.
gotten classes
Never
and
too late.
seen where it went or whatever.
Never too late.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of putting ideas in my head still. So
Hey man, I always say why not try?
30's the new 20, bro. I feel like
Oh,
in
it is,
LA,
100%.
we're so young still out here specifically, you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
So it's like I never really used the age crutch. Like you said, I mean, even look at Oprah. It wasn't Oprah 30 something when she got
Yeah.
all of her
yeah.
success.
Yeah.
Jay-Z. It's
I
like
mean-
these are moguls, right? Like you don't have to put an age number on it. And I feel like when you get it at a more mature level, you can keep it. I feel
yeah.
like when you get success young, you can kind of, you know, kind of like what J. Cole did with a Lil Pump, right? When he was
Right.
putting him on game, he's like, cool, take your little
Man,
shit now. Look what happened.
Yeah,
it's
man,
like,
it happens. You
yeah.
gotta, I mean, there's, and also like comparing too, when you compare yourself, like,
Yeah, you can't do
Would I
that.
love to be Timothy Chalamet? Of course. But like, there's 8 billion people on this planet. There's one Timothy Chalamet. That kind of career to compare yourself against. It's like comparing yourself to Leonardo DiCaprio. Or
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
There's so much
You're just
that
gonna-
had to happen
yeah,
for that.
it's
to
gonna make your
happen.
life worse,
You know?
yeah.
It's like just do you. Everybody's
Yeah.
story is individual. Everybody's story is just as valid and important to the world. It doesn't. You don't need to be this cataclysmic event of success.
Yeah,
in
no.
this story.
no matter what you do, even I remember when you were like fucking around getting into music and shit and sending me your stuff, like
Oh, it's so fun.
you loved it though.
It
It
was
was like you
so
weren't doing
fun.
it to be like, oh, this is my next thing. I'm gonna dual
No.
act in music. You just wanted to do it and you did it. Like
And
that
just
feeling is
express-
amazing.
yes.
Yeah.
And even that, there was a time I was getting frustrated with acting. And I was like, I want to make a little rock and roll EP.
Yeah.
There was always an avenue where I just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And I just did it. And I took a lot of time and got musicians. And
I
went to a
remember you
studio.
did. It was crazy. I was like, he's really
And then I booked the
investing
biggest
into
movie
this.
of my life doing that.
Which is crazy.
Because I did what my mind and soul was like,
Yeah.
wanted to do.
Yeah.
Staying creative. And it felt so fulfilling that I was kind of able to take the pressure off of acting. Because we can put so much pressure on ourselves
Yeah.
too, you know? And I alleviated that by just pursuing what my body
Right.
really wanted,
Exactly.
you know?
And then let's talk about that. You booked the movie.
Yeah.
I remember.
Half Brothers.
Half
Oh,
Brothers.
yeah.
That's your first motion picture, right? Or
No,
biggest,
I did Unfriended.
Okay,
which
yes.
was-
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was
yeah, the web
Universal and
series,
Blumhouse,
right?
yeah. It was like where all the people are on the web and get killed.
I remember that.
The horror
Yeah.
story,
Uh-huh.
Skype.
Yeah. But this was like you were a major role in Half Brothers. Like
Yeah,
it was
I mean,
you were
both were lead
co-star,
roles,
right?
but I was a half brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this was like, and this was, I've always had two major goals in my life, which
Yeah.
was, one was to be in a focus feature studio film. They've got like Oscars upon Oscars. It just that, I just have so much respect for them as a studio, and the other one is to be a regular on a HBO show because I think HBO is kind of the pinnacle of like great television.
It's
right?
so
like,
fucking good.
They don't hire bad actors
Yeah, no.
on HBO.
I mean, The Last of Us is absolutely riveting.
Another actor, Nick Offerman, man.
Yeah.
That guy's amazing.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew him until his 40s.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Yeah, he's the Australian guy.
He was,
No,
he's
who's that
amazing
guy?
too,
What's his
though.
name? You know, I don't know
forget
actor's
his-
name.
I forget
He
his
was
name,
in
but-
White Lotus
Yeah,
too.
he's a
He's
show
fucking
stealer. He's a show
incredible.
stealer.
Yeah, he's
both
like
of them
so
though,
good.
40s, and
Yeah.
like that episode 3 is one of the greatest episodes of television I've ever seen.
Oh my
Me and
God.
my girlfriend were balling, right?
Have you watched Last of Us, Jordan?
Huh?
Have you watched Last of Us?
No, I haven't watched it.
I gotta get on it. You
I
gotta
need
get
to
on it.
tune. I need to tune in though.
Bro, episode 3, if you are a
was-
human being who's experienced love or has
Loss.
emotion in you, it is absolutely fucking just like
It's horrible.
breathtaking.
It's beautiful. I was crying.
And have you watched episode 5? The most
No spoilers. I'm on. No. Slow down. I'm on it.
I just put it this way. I stood up, I turned the TV off, and I just said, I fucking hate this show. And I went to bed like an hour later because I was just sitting in bed like, what's the fucking point? Like, why did I watch that for an hour?
It's powerful stuff,
Dude,
man.
they're good. They
But
know
HBO,
what
that's
the
the-
fuck they're doing.
So
Yes.
that's always been the dream, man.
Yeah.
So to get that Focus Features movie was,
Right.
you know, me and my mom were crying over
I
the
remember
phone
you hitting us
because-
up, and I know I bought it, it's so crazy because everything's timing. So this is why I want to get your perspective on it because you book your first fucking major movie and it's COVID. So
Yep.
it's not even it can't
We
be in
shot
theaters.
it 5 months before COVID.
It can't
And
even
then-
be in theaters. We
Dude,
had
it
to
was-
we had to buy it. I remember
Yeah.
you like sent us a link. Well, it was on Amazon.
Yeah.
I bought it and it was $25.
No, thank you. Thank you.
But I mean, what the fuck, dude? Like
That's
how
what I mean, dude.
How did
It's
that
like-
feel?
that was
Like,
that
that's
was
a roller
rough.
coaster, right,
that
bro?
Was rough,
Yeah.
because it's like you know you have all these ups and downs, and then I'm 29, and I'm like, I did it. I booked this.
You booked a
major
fucking movie.
fucking
You're in a
Like,
movie.
my family's so proud. We're gonna have a big premiere in Mexico City, New York, LA, everything, right? This huge thing. And Luis Gerardo Mendez is his massive star. And like we film it and then COVID hits and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be like a month thing though. Like COVID's nothing. And it just shuts down. I mean, the arts, you know it, the
Yeah.
arts were destroyed.
Yeah.
I don't think anything was hit harder than music and Hollywood.
Yeah.
Those industries, especially I think music was hit the hardest.
Yeah.
But it was tough, man, because there's no auditions for a good year. Solid year of nothing.
Yeah, how would you? Yeah.
And then the movie eventually they released it, but all the major cities theaters were still closed, so I couldn't even watch it in my home city of Chicago with my family. All the theaters were closed. Me and my cousin had
Fuck.
to drive to this small town in Wisconsin to watch it. There's like 6 people in the theater, which was cool. You know what I mean? It was still
Did anyone see you and recognize you?
No. But here's the thing. It was really, really hard because it essentially after the pandemic, it was like starting at zero again. You know, you had to build it all back up. Right?
Yeah.
Like there was that should have been a little bit of a launching point. Like
Yeah.
lead role, focus features, but shit happens. And at the end of the day, my perspective was people lost a lot more during this pandemic.
True.
Than
That's
what
a good
I
way to
lost.
put it. Yeah.
What do I still have? I still have my family.
Yeah.
I still have my career. I still have opportunity.
Your grandma. I know your grandma's important to
Oh,
you.
my
She's
grandma,
still.
dude, I
I know
love-
she's your
she's
like love.
93,
I
still
know she's your love. I
kicking,
see her. Yeah.
Still driving, even though she shouldn't be.
I know you love her.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love my grandma, dude. She's why I have all this persistence and,
Yeah.
and constant push because of her. She's from Cuba.
Yeah.
She's gone through so much, man.
Yeah.
I mean, to hell and back.
Amazing.
And she's still right there.
Yeah.
Kicking, eating her Jimmy Dean sausage at breakfast every morning. I'm like, why don't you eat any vegetables? She's like, don't like them. I'm like, well, you're 93, so it works.
I think it's just happiness,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
and luck.
But you know, I like being able to tell my kids or my grandkids like, oh, I had a movie come out in one of the hardest years of this
During
generation.
the fucking pandemic.
During
Yeah.
the pandemic, and funny enough, we were actually like top 10 highest grossing movies of 2020.
Wow, really? I didn't know
It
that.
doesn't say much, but because nobody made any
But
money.
whatever, it was-
But it was sweet. You know, that's kind of cool.
Man,
so
I could see that, dude, because it's such like a mix of like, because none of us knew what the fuck COVID was gonna be, right?
No.
So it's like,
How could
okay,
it
cool. I just booked the movie though. It's gonna come out. Like I'm gonna be in a movie theater,
Yeah.
which is like the dream, right? And then to be told that like for a year and a half, shit's gonna be shut down. and then to, I can imagine they did everything they could to hold on to it, and then it's like we just got to release it on streaming.
Yep.
Which it's like fuck,
Yeah,
know what I mean, dude?
Yeah, and I was really like, I wanted to take my grandma for a red carpet experience and have her get interviewed, and my whole family there, and it was like Zoom. We had to be on Zoom for the premiere Zoom party, and it's just like, ideal meal, it was rough, man.
But people did what they could, like you said. It's like you have a unique ass first movie experience, which a lot of people, and this might sound stupid, but like everyone has the red carpet experience that's in a movie. You have a very unique, like you got the COVID, but that's a story in itself. You know what I mean?
It is.
Maybe
man.
That's a movie one day. An
Yeah.
actor that gets a movie during COVID, it's like that can be spun any direction.
Yeah, absolutely.
Based off an experience. So
this is what I signed up for, though.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't know COVID would be happening. But it's a roller coaster of a career, and it's a privilege to be able to jump on that roller coaster.
Yeah, 100%. That's a good way to look at it.
Like I love it, man.
Yeah.
You love what you're doing, right?
Yeah, of course.
You love what you're doing?
Jordan.
Making a sandwich.
I'm not making that sandwich, bro. I'm sitting here listening. I've been trying to chime in, but I can't chime in because I ain't like,
No, bro.
I know. I get talking like a tornado.
I feel like I'm a live audience member.
Nah, bro. You sound good. We can hear you. Say something. What'd you get from that? Yeah.
Can I say my self-care tip? Because listening to him, all I can hear is consistency. He is very consistent, and he keeps saying consistency and persistence. And you know how I am about my mindset.
Those are two of your favorite words. I know.
Hey, that's the dream come true. He made his dreams come true because he was literally just consistent about everything he did, and that's hard. That just makes me want to keep going hard.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, man, you going crazy.
I know I get rambly sometimes. Just stop me. No,
you good. No, you good. Man. We like that.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
So what's playing out for you? What you got going on in your world?
Man, right now, just pilot season's coming up. Gonna have a ton of auditions and hoping to get something. Got my acting class. I just love working with like just amazing actors in this place, man.
Nice. People just pushing you, trying to get better.
Everybody's really good.
I think that's big too, right? Because you could be like, oh, I just booked a movie. You could get kind of like this thing to you, but it's like you're still going to classes and you're still going to try to become a better actor. And it's like, do you want to do, because mostly I feel like you're kind of in the comedy world of things, right? Like, and there's actors recently who've kind of branched out of that were always like comedy films, and then like they go to something serious. Like I feel like Jason Bateman.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like,
he can do whatever.
Dodgeball. Like, and then I see him in Ozark and I'm like, what the fuck? This is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think honestly people shouldn't be as surprised when a comedic actor can do dramatic stuff.
Because I feel like it's kind of harder in a sense.
Yeah, you should be more surprised when a dramatic actor can do comedy. Because to me, and people will have their opinions about this, like comedy comes from something that you develop as a kid, as a child. It's something that went down with your parents at that ripe age when you're like really young. Something develops where whether you didn't get attention or got too much, whatever it is, a sense of humor comes from somewhere deep.
Okay.
And when you're a kid. And so you can't, I kind of just wholly believe that you really can't teach comedy.
Yeah.
Like you
kind of have to have it in you, right?
Yeah, there's something inherently in there, and it's usually from something not great.
Yeah,
I
right.
think. But when you can't really teach comedic timing. You can't teach like somebody, like our buddy Colin. Colin is quick, dude. Colin is quick and super. He's so intellectual with his humor too.
Super intellectual. Yep. Sometimes he says things. I'm like, Colin, I don't know what you're being
what the
funny
hell you're
about.
talking about, dude. What
he
the
like
fuck
says
is
something.
that?
He's like, right, like the fucking da 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 da. I'm like, dude, I don't know what.
Nothing. But like, you can't. He's always been that way. I've known him forever, man. And you can't teach that. He's just quick. And so I've always thought you can teach someone to be a great dramatic actor.
Yeah.
I've seen it, man. I've seen actors in classes go from boom to wham in like 2 years because they just worked really hard.
Wow.
But I think it's really hard. I mean, you could watch some of the best actors in our industry just flop around like a fish out of water when they try to do comedy.
Or like stand up
really
or even
hard.
like,
so I've always thought it's the complete opposite. You should never be. I mean, Nick Offerman, The Last of Us, he's comedy.
Yep.
But so I always steer more towards drama. I just find more, I don't know, just like feeling from it.
Yeah.
Comedy kind of makes me take myself out of the reality of it, so I don't invest as much and feel as much. But
Got you.
Yeah. I've always loved doing both, though.
Yeah,
for the
right.
most part.
feel like you have to. You can't like kind of put yourself in one little lane or box and anything, right?
Find the range.
Yeah.
Find the range, you know? But that's why, like you were saying, like in my acting class, there's a lot of really working actors who don't need to be in an acting class, but they want to keep honing that craft.
Yeah.
To me, I don't think you see actors don't hit that true stride of like when you can't catch them acting until your 40s, 50s. You got to experience life to become a truly, truly, truly great actor.
Yeah, I could see that.
Nobody's James Gandolfini from The Sopranos. Nobody's Bryan Cranston. Nobody's Meryl Streep until you're hitting it.
That
you know?
experience?
You got to experience. Yeah, you really do.
I do want to pick your head on some things because I love movies and television, but I'm not like the guy that knows. You know what I mean? You know me. I'm more music shit.
Yeah,
like, I could talk to this all day. So I want to pick your head on something like your top 3 kind of situations.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So give me. I want to know. We'll start kind of generic. Like, so your top 3 actors in your mind. Any genre of not comedy, of acting or movies, but
Okay, so not favorite, just who I think are the 3 best.
who are your top 3? Yeah, not your favorites.
Okay,
but who
top
you think
3?
in the world of acting are like undoubtedly 3 of the top actors that have ever done it so far.
Number 1, I'm putting Heath Ledger. I'm gonna just say it right now.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think there's ever been a more. People could say it's typical. I don't care. Him as the Joker is the most chameleon performance I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Daniel
that shit's
Day-Lewis is
chilling.
incredible. Christian Bale is incredible. But that is the one role where I did
steals the
not
movie.
see
Yeah.
an ounce of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
I did not hear an ounce of Heath Ledger.
Nobody
there was
did.
nothing in any of his mannerisms or his cadence or his tone. So to me, I think that's the greatest performance of all time.
Okay.
Of all time.
Okay.
Like, Leo's done some amazing stuff. Christian Bale's done amazing stuff. Daniel Day-Lewis, Meryl Streep, but I still see him a little bit. And that's not to say it's not incredible.
Yeah. No,
There's
you don't
no
know that's
Heath
Heath
Ledger,
Ledger.
man. There's none.
If you watch that and then fucking A Knight's Tale or what, like, what the fuck? How is that the same
and if
guy?
nobody told me, if nobody ever told me, I would have never known.
Wow.
I mean, he's like,
Okay.
I've never seen anything like that.
All
That
right.
to me is still, I've never seen that transformation like that.
I can get behind that.
You know?
For sure.
You can, so that's number 1. Yeah. And to me right now, at least, it's never been surpassed.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is so tough. I gotta put, and this is like TV and film.
Yeah,
or
just like who you think are the 3 top actors?
top. Oh man, I mean, it's got to be Meryl Streep.
Okay.
It's got to be Meryl Streep number 2 because she is another one. Even though I see those tiny glimpses I talk about, that's me being such a technical asshole about it. Like,
No, she
transforms. She completely changes.
Oh my God,
and
she's
done
amazing.
it more than most.
Yeah.
And then number 3, it's between Bale and Kate Blanchett. But
Wow.
I'm gonna go Bale. Just
Okay.
because, his physical transformations, you got to give him the extra.
In all of the movies he's in, yeah.
That's dangerous stuff. That's really putting your
It is.
body at a
Yeah.
risk. And so he's really talk about selling yourself for your art. And I just love Bale. Like, his work ethic is insane, and he's the kind. When you hear people talk about playing with Michael Jordan, they're like, you had to raise your game with your work ethic and your tenacity, because if you didn't, you were gone.
Yeah.
He made you work harder and become a better player. And I see that with Bale. Like, if I'm working with Bale, I'm going to be up all night doing all my work to make sure I know everything I possibly can about, the script and the character and our dynamics, whatever it may be. And so I've just always wanted to work with him. So that's my top 3.
Yeah.
That's it.
And he's kind of your dream guy you could work with too.
Oh yeah.
So I can see that. Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right. So give me your top 3 films. Your top
Favorite
3
or I think the best?
Give me your favorites, and then give me like the technical realm of the world.
That's
so what are your 3 favorite movies?
Oh, my 3 number 1's Jurassic Park.
Really?
The original OG Jurassic Park. I think it's a perfect film, man.
Okay.
To me, that's how a blockbuster's supposed to be.
Okay.
Which is spectacular, big budget, but also great characters, great story, and simple. It's a simple story.
It is. Yeah, it is.
But I still think to this day, that T-Rex breaking out of that fence, that scene, that is as real as it gets.
Yeah.
Like, it still just looks so real. It's so magnificent. I wish I could have been at an age where I would remember what that was like to see in theaters for the first time.
Yeah.
Because it's remarkable, man. And the CGI artists today, everybody does a beautiful job. I'm not taking anything away from all these guys, but that beautiful concoction of CGI and practical created just, to me, the most realistic monster scene ever. I was like, oh, that's what I think we all said that's what dinosaurs looked like.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg has a time machine. He knows what they look like. Number 2 is Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Another Spielberg film.
Love that movie.
Yeah, it's just so heart-wrenching. And
It is.
And I think, at least in the research I've done, like he paid his respect to the people who fought in that war. I think there's a lot of movies and TV that say they're doing it for this reason, but it still feels exploitative.
Yeah.
Whereas he was like, I'm going to show you what this was really like, so you have more compassion for what these people went through.
Yeah.
And
you definitely feel that.
So remarkably shot, and every second of that movie, there is love, compassion, and care.
Yeah.
At every sequence, from the actors to the set design to the sound design, every detail was immaculate. I mean, you can read stories about a lot of veterans having to walk out of the theater because it was just too much for them to handle.
Wow.
That's tough to hear, and it also says, okay, he did his
He
research.
really did his research. Yeah,
he made sure he was doing it right.
Yeah, I agree. That film and oh my god, I can't think of the name of the movie, but it came out.
Black Hawk Down,
No. It was about like the two soldiers.
1984.
Yes,
No,
something
not
like that.
1984.
But I think it's a date.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's not 1984. I don't know.
It
why I
was
said
so good though.
Yeah, I like that movie, but I wasn't as into that movie.
Really?
Because I thought I grew up with video games. I'm like, this kind of feels like a video game.
Yeah, in a
Saving
sense.
Private doesn't feel like a video game.
Yeah, it's very.
That movie was great in its execution, but I saw just being behind the scenes in so many sets. I'm like,
Yeah.
I see everything for the camera. This movie was for the camera and it being a one-shot sequence.
Yeah.
And so everything's for that.
Yeah.
As opposed to for the story. That's how I felt
Got
watching
you.
it. So I
Yeah.
wasn't the biggest fan. But
Okay.
I still liked it.
All right. All right. So give me your third favorite.
Oh, this one's tough. Matrix, man. Scott, what am I saying? Tough. Matrix. The Matrix. It's one of the greatest films ever made. Changed cinema. Changed movies. Still one of the coolest movies you can watch.
I'm not a Matrix guy. I'm not.
Dude, the fight choreography is incredible.
I'm just not. It's, you know what I mean? I'm just not a Matrix guy. I can't fake it. I can't. You
That's
know what
okay.
I mean?
Fair enough. But,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know the hype. I get the hype. But I'd be lying if I'm like, oh yeah, the Matrix.
Can you separate yourself and understand like the context of when the movie came out?
Yeah.
And
No,
all that?
100%. That's like me saying like LeBron's one of the greatest ever.
Right.
You know what I mean? I could admit it, but I'm still hate him.
Me too.
Or not fuck with him. You
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like I can see the technicality of like how good the Matrix is
Yeah.
and what it was for cinema. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a Star Wars guy. Like did you whisper that?
Yeah,
I'm just not, bro. I don't even fake it. Like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I'm just not.
Yeah.
I know what it was for cinema and movies and all that. I get it, but I'm not big on it. I like when I watch the movies, I'm a little like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like I'm like, okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
gotcha.
Like Dune was incredible.
Oh, I love Dune.
Yeah,
I love Dune.
like Dune is incredible.
Yeah.
So I mean, but
That's
yeah,
how
just
Blockbuster should be. That's another example of
fucking
how what I think
so
a Blockbuster
good.
should be.
Oh my god, I could rewatch that. And you know
Yeah.
what's crazy is I wish I saw it in theaters. I watched it
Oh,
at
I
my
did.
house, just in a dark room with my like fucking sound bar all the way up, and it was still riveting.
Oh, that director is incredible.
Yeah.
Is incredible.
So give me your top 3 technicality movies that you're like, these are the 3 best.
Saving Private Ryan is definitely
So
in
it's
there,
in,
in
it's
that
in your top.
3. Oh,
so
yeah.
it's in your favorites, and okay,
Technicality.
you don't got to put them in order. So
Yeah,
just
this
give me
is
another.
rough. This
Give
is
me another
tough.
2. Like without a doubt, cinema top. Like you can't.
I mean, Titanic has to be.
Yeah,
Titanic has to
right?
be. I can't not. It's not my favorite movie by any means, but like the sheer scope of it. And I was looking at, because Avatar 2 just hit 2,300 something million.
So good.
So that's number 4. Titanic is number 3 in terms of box office all time.
Wow.
And Avatar 1 is number 1 at 2.9 billion.
Oh my god.
And then
Really?
Marvel Avengers Endgame is number 2.
Is number 2.
But here's the thing. When you look at the top 50 Titanic is 1999. Every other movie in the top 50, there's Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows in 2011, and Avatar 2009, and then there's no other movie from the 90s that hits that. Every other movie is pretty much 2015 and up.
Wow.
So for that
that
movie,
speaks
that
volumes.
says all you need to know. You know.
Yeah, Titanic was shifting for sure.
And then maybe I'd get shit for this, but I think it's most beautifully shot film ever is Blade Runner 2184, whatever.
Oh, that newest one that everyone was like, did I just watch a movie with a bunch of sounds in it?
Yeah, I don't know. It's not my favorite movie ever made, but I think it's like one of the most beautiful paintings.
It is
gorgeous.
It is
gorgeous
remarkable
film.
to watch.
And on a technical level, it's exceptional.
And
he did Dune.
Yeah,
you know?
and the sounds in that movie too. Like the sounds
incredible.
make that movie.
Yeah, so I'd probably go those three.
Okay, wow. No Tarantino in there at all, huh? Are you not a Tarantino guy?
Oh no, I love Tarantino's movies.
Okay, really?
There's very few
like, because
directors.
for me, Pulp Fiction has to be like that's one of my top 3 movies.
Oh, that's one of the
all
greatest
time.
movies ever made.
Like,
of course.
yeah.
Tarantino probably has 5 movies in the top 20,
Right.
at least on my list.
Because
I love Kill
Django is
Bill,
absolutely
Django. I love them all, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, to what you're saying, in terms of production design and creating a time, him and
just a specific type of
very
movie.
few directors can do that.
Yeah.
And it's because of the amount of attention and respect they have. For
Okay.
it. Just like Spielberg with The War, it's making sure every detail. I mean, in a Tarantino movie, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, there wasn't one piece on that set that wasn't from that time period.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. He transforms.
He's not going to fuck around.
No.
And so you just don't get that with a lot of.
What do you think the narrative on Tarantino is with, because he makes movies that are very derogatory
Right.
and set, N-words used a lot, that type of shit.
Right.
Now, do you see why? Because he's not trying to hold back and he's trying to be like, well, this is how it was in this time. So I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit. And then, he's getting actors support that are in his films
Right.
that clearly feel comfortable. What do you think the narrative is on that? Are people being like, is there just behind it? Or is it like, dude, he's making a film and he's trying to bring it to life and bring that time to life? Or is it sometimes where you're like, he's adding a little too much here? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think both sides of the argument have their
point.
reasons and have their point. And I think I would hope both sides can say, but we'd rather have people make brave movies than not.
Yeah, that's what I say.
You want brave storytellers.
Yeah.
And if I've always said, if you toe a line, people will burn you down.
Yes.
But if you're gonna be on that line, cross it.
Yeah.
And stay there and make your film and be brave with whatever. Look at South Park has been canceled for 30 years because they crossed the line and they're like, we haven't seen that line for years.
Well, and then you got these guys that are in these movies saying this shit, and it's like, I'm sure it's fucking hard for them to be
Of course.
hold on, what do I say to Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh my God, of course, man.
And that's acting though. It's you're putting yourself. This isn't me. Right. I'm gonna give you a performance because this is how in Django when Leonardo cut his hand open mid fucking scene.
Yeah, and he kept it going.
And just kept it rolling, and that shit is incredible. Like, mind you, he's fucked up for it because he wiped his real blood on that poor woman's face. Like, she was pissed the fuck off. Yeah. But bro, that performance is fucking incredible.
It's unbelievable. I just don't. I think
it's like,
everybody
how do you
would
stop
say,
rolling? Everyone just kept it going because it was so wow.
Right. No, you want brave storytellers.
Yeah.
Man. If if an artist isn't making some people uncomfortable, then I don't think we're doing good things essentially, because you don't want everybody to feel like they got to be in this box. You know? And people are gonna get offended. That's always gonna happen, no matter what. And I've been offended by some things
films,
some of my favorite artists have said.
Yeah.
But I would still, you got to have brave storytellers. You have to, or else, what the fuck are we doing?
Right.
Boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
Facts. You need stuff to push the envelope for sure.
So,
are we getting close to time? Yeah.
Okay.
All right, dude. Well, I mean, let's kick it off, bro. Let's send it off with, give some advice out there to the younger you that was coming up when you were 14 and you had that moment of, this is what I'm going to do. I feel like you've said it along the way, but.
A younger me, and as a metaphor for younger people maybe listening.
A younger actor that's maybe watches this because they're like, oh, that's the guy from Half Brothers. I'm going to watch that.
I got you. Okay, very simply, do it because you love it, and don't ever, ever forget why you do it. And that's it, man. You
simple,
just gotta
right?
feed your soul. That's it. You do it for your soul.
It's so simple.
Nothing
sometimes.
else matters. You'll be okay if you do it that way. I swear. But
Right.
You gotta love it.
You have to love it.
If you don't love it,
Don't do
find
it.
what you do love because it's out there.
And then you're not going to work a day in your life, essentially. That's what they say, right?
Yep.
So it's like, I think that's dope.
Yeah.
That's inspiration, bro.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough at 15 to figure out what
To
it was.
figure it
Doesn't
out.
always
Yeah.
happen at that age.
And there's
so
no age where you can't figure it out.
Right.
Like you like you said, you were lucky
I was
to figure
very
it out
lucky.
that young.
Yes.
So if you're fucking 40 and this is your aha moment to do it, just go do it. Try it. That's what I always tell people. Try it.
If you can,
Failure
try
is
it.
good.
Yes.
Who cares? Like we don't
Yes.
have failure, we don't have success.
You're not going to die.
Like it's
Try it.
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you're not gonna die. It's
You know?
you'll be okay.
Don't try swimming with a great white shark. But if you want to jump in an acting class, go for it. You know?
Don't today be like, today's the day I become, professional race car driver with no
Yeah.
experience and get
Might
out
be
on
the
the
last day
101
as
and
well.
buy a fucking
Yeah.
Lamborghini.
Yeah,
Yeah. Keep it in your reins, but yeah.
That's it. Yeah, it's real simple, man.
Hell yeah,
it took
bro.
me a long time to figure that out, though. So,
It's the beautifulness is when you simplify life.
yes.
That's like I feel like comes with age and maturity too. But like
Oh, yeah.
if you can find that young, you'll be golden, right?
Yes. And disconnect yourself more often. Even just walking around with your iPods and not looking at your phone screen can be a disconnect sometimes. Listen to your world.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, it's so
Hell yeah,
preachy.
dude. I love it. This is great, dude.
Okay,
I
cool.
appreciate you
Yeah,
coming
this is
on,
fun.
bro.
This is
I
awesome.
think there's gonna be a lot of good stuff on this one.
I appreciate you having
I'm
me.
excited. Of course, brother.
All right.
Thank you, dog. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to this week's episode. As always, like, share, comment, subscribe, follow, try to get us a little popular. We'll appreciate it. But yeah, until next time, thank you, my brother. Thanks for coming on.
So long.
Thanks, Jordan, for doing the guest appearance.
Thanks,
on
Jordan.
us. I'll call him after. But thank you guys.
Bye,
Tune in
Jordan.
next week, all right? Peace. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this week's episode of All Bass No Treble. If you could please subscribe and like, and also get the notification button smashed for us, that would mean the world to us. If you'd like to keep up with myself, my co-host, or our special guest this week, all of our social medias and info is right below. And if you would like to listen, tune into Apple Podcasts or Spotify, as you can hear us on there as well. Again, thank you so much for tuning in this week, and I will see you on the next episode.